Salam salam salam, peace be upon you. I am Abdullah from Karachi. I am in Germany. I am dark-skinned, so you can easily spot me in Germany because I am skinny and dark-skinned, and you know a Desi living in Germany. Abdullah was a young man from Karachi, Pakistan. He had always dreamed of studying abroad, and after graduating from high school, he was accepted to a prestigious university in Germany. Abdullah was excited to start his studies in Germany, but he was also a little bit nervous. He didn't know anyone in Germany, and he didn't speak any German. But he was determined to make the most of his time there. Abdullah quickly settled into his new life in Germany. He made friends with some of his classmates, and he started learning German. He also started exploring the city, and he was amazed by all the history and culture that he found there. One day, Abdullah was talking to his friend about his dream of visiting Turkey. His friend told him that Turkey was a beautiful country with a rich history, and that he should definitely go there if he had the chance. Abdullah decided to take his friend's advice, and he booked a flight to Istanbul. He was excited to see the Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, and the Grand Bazaar. Abdullah spent 2 weeks in Turkey, and he had an amazing time. He visited all the major tourist attractions, and he also got to experience some of the local culture. He ate delicious Turkish food, he listened to traditional Turkish music, and he even learned a few Turkish phrases. Abdullah was sad to leave Turkey, but he knew that he would never forget his time there. He had learned a lot about Turkish culture, and he had made some amazing memories. When Abdullah returned to Germany, he was a changed person. He was more confident, more outgoing, and more open to new experiences. He was also more grateful for the opportunity to have studied in Germany. Abdullah continued his studies in Germany, and he graduated with honors. After graduation, he moved back to Karachi, but he never forgot his time in Germany or Turkey. He often talked about his experiences to his friends and family, and he encouraged them to travel and see the world. One day, Abdullah got a letter from his uncle Abdul Rahman, who lived in Istanbul. Abdul Rahman invited Abdullah to come visit him, and Abdullah was excited to accept. Abdullah flew to Istanbul and met with his uncle. They had a great time catching up, and Abdullah told his uncle all about his time in Germany. Abdul Rahman was proud of Abdullah for all that he had accomplished, and he was glad that he had come to visit. Abdullah and Abdul Rahman spent a week together, and they had a lot of fun. They visited all the major tourist attractions in Istanbul, and they also went to some of Abdul Rahman's favorite places. Abdullah learned a lot about Turkish culture from his uncle, and he had a great time getting to know him better. When it was time for Abdullah to leave, he was sad to go. But he knew that he would never forget his time with his uncle. He had learned a lot about Turkish culture, and he had made some amazing memories. Abdullah returned to Karachi, but he continued to stay in touch with his uncle. They talked on the phone often, and Abdullah visited him again a few years later. Abdullah's time in Turkey with his uncle was a truly unforgettable experience. One of the things that Abdullah learned from his uncle was the importance of family. Abdul Rahman was a kind and generous man, and he always put his family first. Abdullah was inspired by his uncle's example, and he made a promise to himself that he would always be there for his own family. Abdullah also learned a lot about Turkish culture from his uncle. He learned about the history of Turkey, the different religions that are practiced in Turkey, and the traditional Turkish way of life. Abdullah was fascinated by Turkish culture, and he was grateful to his uncle for sharing it with him. Abdullah's time in Turkey with his uncle was a truly unforgettable experience. He learned a lot about Turkish culture, he made some amazing memories, and he strengthened his bond with his uncle. Abdullah is grateful for the opportunity to have had this experience, and he will never forget it.